Hey, guys, before we start the video, I just found out recently that my inspiration for Bionicle, specifically TheShadowedOne1 has passed away, and I will bring a moment of silence for him right now. It'll only take a few seconds. May he rest in peace.
Alright. Hey everybody, it is Zaka here. Today, we are going to get started on Darth Vader versus Obi-Wan... we're going to get started on I keep fucking with the name. I'm such a huge nerd that I have to fuck with the name for somebody else. Today, we're going to get started on Star Wars versus Naruto, Obito Uchiha versus Darth Vader. So, let's get started, shall we? Before we start, I'd like to say, this is going to be a great video for me because I always wanted to see this in the death battle, but I never thought about it that way until like a few months back when someone brought it up, and it's like, I want to make a good death battle. Why don't they do it? And then here we are now. Here we are now. See? All right, you ready? Let's get started. What? More questions? Shut up. Let's go.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Brandon Yates.
Again?
So stop with the camera speed.
Darth Vader, Dark Lord of the Sith.
Obito Uchiha, secret leader of the Akatsuki.
Prime examples of how you could die a hero or live long enough to become a villain.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Oh yeah. I'm so sorry if I look like
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, the Iron Fist of the Galactic Empire ruled everything.
All thanks to the super powerful super murderer Darth Vader. But beneath his spooky mask lay the husk of former nice guy Anakin Skywalker.
As a child among the harsh wastes of Tatooine, Anakin longed to one day free his fellow slaves as a heroic Jedi.
Lucky for him, he met Qui-Gon Jinn, a Jedi who believed little Annie was the chosen one and would bring balance to the Force. No pressure, right? So he took him under his wing to become the papa he never had. Or so was the plan, until... yeah.
Instead, Qui-Gon's apprentice became Anakin's mentor. But while Anakin sought a father figure, Obi-Wan saw him as more of a brother.
I'm sure that won't cause any awkward tension whatsoever.
Drama and trauma aside, Anakin quickly became a powerful Jedi. He excelled in lightsaber combat and the Force, an energy field that binds all living things together.
The Force lets Jedi move stuff with their mind, fend off mental attacks, predict the future, and make people believe these aren't the droids they're looking for. They're basically space wizards.
Through rigorous training and a not unnoticeable natural talent, Anakin was particularly skilled in the Form 5 lightsaber fighting styles, Xian and Jem So.
Also known as the Way of the Crate Dragon. You know that big Santa dragon Mando blew up from the inside? Yeah, make that a lightsaber.
Form 5 is incredibly versatile, well suited for defending against lightsaber and blaster alike. It focuses on blending parries with devastating counterattacks, aiming to win duels through overwhelming pressure.
Perfect for the Padawan who just bulldozed his way through training to become a Jedi Knight.
Even as a newly knighted Jedi, Anakin could keep up with some of the most experienced Jedi Masters and Sith Lords of his time.
But he had plenty of other problems to deal with, like his late-blooming rebellious teenage angst. I mean, you don't just throw a kid into space monk school and expect him to forget everyone he ever cared about, right? Well, apparently that's what he was supposed to do.
The life of a Jedi can be difficult and cold, something Anakin could not accept. And so, rather than let his secret wife die in childbirth, he was seduced to the dark side through the promise of power.
And so began his Jedi kill streak, until Obi-Wan gave him a glorious lava bath. How... refreshing?
But thanks to his new Sith Master Palpatine, our young warrior was saved, reborn, rebuilt. He was now Darth Vader.
Vader is a badass. Everyone knows it, and they're terrified of him. I mean, just look at the guy.
As impressive as his armor appears, you might be surprised by its quirks. See, while the Jedi view the Force as an ally, the Sith see it as a tool from which they draw power through passion and emotion. Most potently, negative emotions. Palpatine trained Vader by not only making him believe he killed his wife, but also ensuring he would never forget the monstrous machine he had become.
By making the suit suck ass and piss him off. Seriously, Vader hates this suit.
The armor would beep at random times just to annoy him, and the life support system was outdated from the start. Sometimes it would even turn off for several minutes.
That doesn't seem good for someone with burnt up lungs.
And it was so heavy and clunky that he could barely walk. Sometimes
They had to use GTA, bro. I'm sorry, that was hilarious. Oh, so cheap though.
even resorting to moving himself with the Force.
Oh man, I knew Palpy was evil, but I never knew it. But if you want something more recent, here's a planet blowing up while Vader was on it, and he's fine.
But thanks to both his incredible power and the mercy and trust of his secret son, Vader would eventually avenge the atrocities of Palpatine. Even more important, he finally saved someone he loved. Ultimately, Anakin Skywalker truly did bring balance to the Force. Hokage, the leader of the Hidden Leaf Village and their strongest ninja, respected and loved by all. Though few have attained this title, many have strived for it.
One such striver, sadly lacking in parents, wanted to both help people and be acknowledged by the rest of the village. And what better way to do that than having your face carved into a mountain? If you think I'm talking about Naruto, guess again! This is the story of Obito Uchiha!
Obito unfortunately lacked the natural talent for ninja arts attributed to his Uchiha bloodline.
So he signed up for ninja school and eventually joined a team with his rival Kakashi, his crush Rin, and their leader Minato. Where do you think I could get into a ninja school like that?
Not one that teaches you to harness this form of chakra, a limited form of physical and spiritual energy that exists inside all human beings and, naturally, can be weaponized.
He could use it to run up walls and make clones of himself, but even better, blow shit up!
This is ninjutsu. Among its many techniques include elemental attacks, and the Uchiha specialize in all things fire.
Big fireballs, small fireballs, waves of fire, columns of fire, you name it, they've got it. So when Ninja World War III came along, it totally made sense to get this fire ninja involved at the age of 11. Yikes! Well, lucky for Obito, he had one more secret weapon up his sleeve, eye socket. The Sharingan!
The Sharingan grants extremely precise vision, allowing someone to see the flow of chakra, predict an enemy's attacks, cast a variety of genjutsu illusions, and even break out of said illusions.
Too bad he didn't get to use the red eyes much. Like 10 minutes after he got the damn things, he got smushed under a big rock. What a way to go! But since he wasn't expecting to use his super eyes anymore, he handed one off to Kakashi. And then he died. The end! Just kidding!
Miraculously, Obito survived long enough to be rescued by another Uchiha, the legendary Madara. Madara granted Obito a new body, regenerating the limbs he'd lost.
You're probably thinking, oh, what a swell guy. Except he was not! Madara was brewing some plans for world domination and needed a pawn to carry them out. So he tricked Obito into watching Kakashi kill Rin, making him fall victim to the Uchiha's curse of hatred.
Within the Uchiha clan, there exists an ideal of being extremely devoted to love. It has been speculated that if a particularly powerful Uchiha loses someone important to them, that love will be replaced with an all-consuming hatred. This is how Obito awakened his Mangekyo Sharingan.
Or Red Eye 2.0, the Mangekyo gave him a new jutsu called Kamui. With it, he can suck his foes into another dimension and leave them there to die. He can even hide weapons in there until he needs them, like his gun by fan. But even better, he can phase through stuff.
Well, not quite. Kamui gives Obito the power to move through objects in a manner that's similar to the common phasing superpower akin to the Flash or Kitty Pryde. In reality, it's much more complex, as Obito is actually teleporting parts of his body into the Kamui dimension whenever they overlap with other matter. See, there's his body parts right there.
Well, if it looks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's phasing. Hands up! Yeah! Way later on, he also got another super eye. Man, he's really swapping these things around like a Prime sub on Twitch.
This Rinnegan
Like a, what do you call it? Those like the light bulb. It's like
grants Obito the power of the 6 paths, giving him some nifty abilities like controlling gravity with the Deva path, ripping out souls with the human path, and summoning giant monsters with the animal path.
With all of the awful stuff he'd gone through, Obito realized that the ninja world was corrupt to its core. His dream of everyone being happy and working together was never gonna happen. So instead, he agreed to carry out Madara's Giga-Brain plan to control everything.
Donning masks and multiple personas, he recruited a number of rogue shinobi to form the Akatsuki terrorist group and kicked off Ninja World War IV, all to revive the monstrous Ten Tails.
I know what you're thinking. Wasn't the whole point of this to stop war in the first place? And that's a very good question. Anyway, the Ten Tails overcame his hatred and helped realize the world he wanted. Again? He can't keep getting away with it. He won't.
Actually, he will because we love him. This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Brandon Yates.
Dive into the thrilling world of versus music as Brando brings hypothetical matchups to life through his commissioned compositions. Brandon is one of the composers behind Death Battle, bringing the awesome tunes you love to rock out. He music the show mission and
All right, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all.
Now, before we begin, I would like to say one thing. This is gonna be. I'm either gonna be so happy or so pissed, but I'll probably be neutral about it. I'm probably gonna be neutral about it. I don't care who wins at this point. I just want to see they interact and shit. It's gonna be amazing.
All possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
The animations are That's okay.
I sense your fear, your anger, and a power. I will be taking it. That power will save this cursed world. You'll have to pry it from my cold, dead hands. Then you will die. What? All too easy. I expected more. I won't disappoint.
Your humanity as well.
On the path of the dark side, it is inevitable. Impressive.
No. This is inevitable.
Accept this gift and die.
Too late.
Oh shit! Whoa, what the fuck? So he wins by just basically red pilling him? Oh my god.
You are liberated from hell. Find peace in the next life.
Yo, I love Darth Vader. I love Obito. This is what, oh my god. Obito. Damn. I heard he lost against the Dr. Doom too, so like, they probably hate Vader.
KO! Well,
love
Vader may have been able to beat Obi-Wan, but he just couldn't handle Obi-2.
This was a fairly complex matchup. Both Darth Vader and Obito were roughly even in power and speed, so it truly came down to their skill and arsenals.
And boy, do they have some deep bags of tricks. Even some of the same tricks. Both can fend off mental attacks. Both can move things around with their minds. And they both even had options to instantly kill each other.
Vader could simply force crush Obito's body, but Obito could just as easily rip out Vader's soul. However, Obito had a few more impressive options available to him, edging out just enough to earn a win.
For starters, Kamui made Obito extremely difficult just to touch, let alone injure. And as a Jinchuriki, he can regenerate from half of his body getting destroyed. While the dark side could help Vader survive extreme conditions,